This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Noise as a mod source is so powerful, and in all honesty, I have slept on this type of modulation for way too long. I found 3 cool ways to use it and to add some dirt and kind of grit to my patches, which is what I want to show you today. And it wasn't until this recent peak update that this noise modulation thing kind of came to my attention. And now, as I always say, I work at Novation, and no, I'm not trying to sell you on this thing because I'm here chilling off the clock and I don't like working overtime for free. But with that said, this modulation can be done on any synth with as long as your synth has like some decent mod routing, right? And if you don't have noise as a source on your synthesizer, you can kind of fake it with an LFO, which I'll show you in a bit. But I just happen to know peak like the back of my hand, and it's super easy for me to explain things on it. So with that out of the way, listen to this. I just made this today. Where are we at? Crazy, right? So this started with noise as a mod source, moving some of the oscillator shapes around, right? Where's it at? Noise to the pitch as well as noise to the shape. But then I started diving into more grit and dirtiness and seeing what else it could do. And that's where oscillator 3 to the filter frequency kicked in. And this really started to emphasize this like whipping phase cancellation between the two oscillators. And honestly, I have very little idea as to why it's doing this phasing because it's only oscillator 1 and 2 that we're hearing. And they're detuned, which yes, kind of does some simple phase type things, but oscillator 3, which is being sent to the filter's frequency, is what's really whipping these two oscillators around, because without it, it sounds like this. You can hear it a little bit, but with it, crazy, right? And it's an up ramp, right? Or an up saw, whatever the term you want to call this, but it's not detuned or anything, is it? Yeah, see, it's not detuned. So I don't know if because these two are detuned and this isn't, that they phase and then on top of that phase perfectly in sync at a specific point where oscillator 3 is dead center, so they all kind of have this weird warping pinch. But again, we're not listening to oscillator 3. Oscillator 3 is just modulating the filter frequency. Absolutely crazy, right? I love this patch. I made it today while exploring sending noise to different destinations, shape being one of them. And you know what? If you have a peek, I'll put this patch down in the description below if you want to mess around with it and kind of break it apart and dissect it. But yeah, that was kind of a bit of a random tangent down the rabbit hole of phasing and weirdness, but noise as a mod source is what started it all when it came to this patch. And to me, it's extremely powerful because noise as a mod source allows you to add the feeling and the thought of noise to a signal without the audible distraction of noise. And like I mentioned earlier, if your synth doesn't have noise as a source, a simple trick to replicate it would be to use a sample and hold LFO, aka a random LFO at a decently fast rate or speed, and you essentially get noise because it's just moving around really fast. So try that out, see if that works, and honestly make it pretty fast. Maybe not too fast. Some digital synths get a little weird, but make it really fast. And yeah, with noise, sometimes to me, when I'm just turning noise up in the mixer within a patch, it just sounds like the ocean, which, you know, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the ocean, but that's not actually what I want. What I want is the grit and the dirt of noise to mess up my signal. So with noise as a mod source, gosh, how many times have I said that already? You can apply this crazy rapid movement to things and it sounds like noise, but it isn't. It's kind of hard to explain with words. So let's get into those 3 different examples of how I've been using it right after a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Skillshare. You may have noticed things look or feel a bit different around here Or maybe not. The only reason I mention this is because after I took the incredible Skillshare class called YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit with MKBHD, I realized that there was so much I was missing out on when it came to running a YouTube channel.
Hey, what's up? MKBHD here. I've made 1,300 plus videos at this point. For me, the answer is I make videos about a topic I care a lot about.
In MKBHD's class, he covers everything from start to finish on what it takes to make a video just like his, which is basically a cheat code for YouTube. And in case you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who wants to learn, explore their creativity, or just pick up some new skills. This is especially useful if you want to maybe make a career pivot or level up some skills with what you currently do. And if you don't already know who MKBHD is, he's a massive tech reviewer here on YouTube and easily my favorite of the bunch. So if Skillshare is something you've been interested in and you want to get 3 whole months for free, be sure to use my link in the description below, and with the coupon code Tinez, you'll get 30% off a year-long subscription. You could easily take a ton of classes in that amount of time, no problem. All right, let's get back into it. So check this, we'll add noise to the oscillator pitch of all 3 oscillators. Gone ahead and initialize the patch, right? I'll find noise in our sources, destination, oscillator 1, 2, 3 pitch, and start turning it up. You can already hear it there. I really like this on pulse width. Right? If I wanted to hold that a little. See what I'm saying with it sounds like noise, but it's not, because if we were to just turn noise up, that's fine if that's what you want. But I really like the noise to the signal path. Like, that's beautiful. And what's even wilder is some synths have this, not all, but if you were to go to your oscillator common section here, you actually have a high pass filter and a low pass filter for the noise, which happens to the noise signal or the noise source itself before the modulation. So if we were to go crazy on this, we can shave it back in. We can fine tune it. To weirdly pick like the perfect frequency of noise that we want to affect our signal. All right, now let's try something a little different. We'll go back to our sources here and our destinations. You know, I'm going to initialize the patch just so we have a clean slate. And I'm going to go to the BS sine wavetable because this is kind of a sine wave, but with a little bit more flavor to it, right? Because we have the different shapes. So let's say we send, again, noise to oscillator shape, but of all 3 oscillators. Oscillator 1, 2, 3 shape. Turn that up. Again, this is a sine wave. It's just this weird little broken touch, right? And similarly to my velocity video or even my envelopes video, it's all these tiny, tiny little nuances to me that really start to shine. Because now the reverb can pick up on a lot more because it's picking up on these weird, harsh crackles and pops of the shape of our oscillators moving, right? Versus just a perfect sine wave. But we can still move our shape around. And this is just +5. This can get really crazy. And again, if we were to go back to our oscillator comment section, we can turn our high pass up and just give it a little bit of a sizzle, a little crackle. Snap, crackle, pop. Don't sue me. Little LFO to the pitch. Let's do LFO 2 to resync itself. Wow. A little bit of release on there. A little bit of chorus. We'll turn the filter frequency down, but a little bit of resonance up. Turn a mod envelope up. A lot of attack. Where do we want it to land? We can let it land there. More release. Listen. Freaking gorgeous. And lastly, we'll stick with this patch because it's sounding pretty good right now. The one that is one of my favorites is sending noise to delay time. Weird to think about that, right? Because what would delay time do if the signal had noise moving it? Well, let's find out. So we'll turn delay up. I'll turn the other effects down. I'll turn our release down. Pull at the envelope, kind of pluck it a little more. And I'll even go and take noise off of the shape, so it's a clean signal. Right? Check this. Effects section. We'll go to our effects mod matrix, noise to the delay time. Cool. Let's turn that up a little bit. Busted. All the way. But again, we can shape this up a little bit, right? Oscillator, we'll bring the low pass down a little more. We'll spread this out a little bit, turn the level down. Right? Kind of wild. Almost sounds like a old school snare off of like an analog drum machine. And if you really wanted to hear this, we can just go to our effects section here and turn the dry level all the way down. And we'll turn the time as fast as possible. Right, if we add a little more, we can change the routing of this as well, send it into the reverb. I just figured something out. I didn't realize this was happening before, but similar to the blooper, as well as, yeah, the habit, it's here, it's dope, I love this thing. The delay is repeating listen to that right there. It's repeating forever, but constantly getting modulated by noise, so it's breaking apart more and more. Until it just turns into noise, I guess, right? And you can do some other weird things with this as well, where if you were to go into your delay, you actually have a slew rate, which is changing how quickly the delay acts, the delay time acts to changes. So really fast. This will probably end up making the noise really, really harsh. The best way to hear this is, of course, if I were to just take all this off. We'll turn delay up. See how there's like a little bit of whipping? If this was not there at all, no slew, it just happens really fast. But if there was a lot of slew, oh, I should have set this down first. Turn our rate up, turn this up now. It's going to take a while for it to actually start to speed up. There we go. Right, again, really fast. It's just going to move as fast as it can. So again, with noise moving the time amount, how do these digital circuits react to this type of modulation? In a way, it's almost like you're trying to hack or break digital synths. That's kind of why I was mentioning earlier, when you use an LFO in the sample and hold mode on some digital synths, I'm not going to name any of them, but I've had them kind of fall apart on me because it sounded a little too digital. Like it was almost as if the LFO was moving faster than what the synth could produce in terms of modulation movement or refresh rate. I don't know. Not a scientist, just a regular nerd. But yeah, I guess to finish it off, here's one more patch I made called the Foghorn. Pretty cool. Same thing. Noise, moving our shapes. Noise, moving our pitch a little bit, if you want to break it apart. But again, my favorite, the whoa phase, because I literally have no idea what this thing is doing. It starts phasing like crazy, speeding up, and then it calms itself back down. Go to our effects. You already know I'm gonna route this. Oh, it's already pre-routed. The synthesis rabbit hole. All synthesis. I mean, it is, and I absolutely love it. Once again, I appreciate having you around, and I'm excited to see you again next week. Until then, my friend, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace.